We're gonna watch this video. We're gonna hope it's good, all right? If it's not good, don't blame me. Blame Erica. I'm gonna try my best not to pause, but like I'm just so like I just can't help myself.
As a means of escape, many people seek out the internet for both
Nigga is not a leader,
companionship
bro.
and entertainment.
You ain't never
Whether
had that
be
management
dating
role in
apps,
your life.
scrolling through Facebook, or even binging videos on YouTube. Some of you might be doing that as we speak. Others seek solace and community through online gaming. While some people find online gaming to be entertaining, it's no...
Sorry. Once again, I'm not PR trained, so let me know if what I'm about to say is crazy. Wait, can I get some personal opinions? What y'all think about cyberbullying? How do y'all feel about cyberbullying? Like, do y'all think that's a real thing, or do y'all think that's something that people can just like turn their backs? Like, how do y'all feel? I'm not PR trained. I have no brand deals, so I'm speaking my mind. Let me know if what I'm saying is wrong. I'm genuinely asking, like, how do y'all feel about like cyberbullying? Yeah, but do you think that's avoidable? Like, W cyberbullying? No. We're not Wing cyberbullying. I'm asking. Because, like, what if, like, turning off the monitor, walking away, blocking them? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But, you know, I have to say it in a certain way because, you know, I'm not scared of being canceled. I don't care. But it's just, like, I'm just genuinely, like, concerned. That's what I'm saying. I just log out, block the person. Stuff like that, but people be saying it's not that simple. Yo, Saint was funny, bro. We don't care about being canceled. We don't. I bring truth to the community. Like, if I get canceled, I get canceled. Like, that's what it is. Like, people gonna view me for what they want to view me as, okay? Like, I live life to the fullest. I don't care about being canceled.
No secret that online gaming communities can become extremely toxic environments. And in today's story, that toxicity took a very sinister turn into the real world.
We don't care about being canceled.
Easily the furthest we've ever seen anyone go over an online game. And I promise you, this
that Fortnite raid
bad.
used to be different, chat. Y'all don't even know. That Fortnite raid used to be different. Let me tell y'all.
Daniel Petrie was born in Blumenau, Santa Catarina, Brazil in 1991. Although not much is known about his early life, reports indicate that Daniel lived in a rather tumultuous environment, was a rebellious youth, and had mental health issues that eventually led his parents to seek out psychiatric help for their son. However, even though Daniel was unable to control his aggressive behaviors and emotions, in 2007, at the age of 16, he opted to end therapy and eventually dropped out of school, and soon isolated himself inside of his family home where he binged television and surfed the internet.
Soon, Daniel would spend the bulk of his free time on a new online game he discovered called Tibia. Tibia is described as a two-dimensional, tile-based MMORPG with text-based elements. This stands for a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. In a nutshell, this is a genre that involves playing in virtual worlds commonly containing thousands of people.
And what else I don't understand? How can
I don't know how to respond to that.
Wait, I didn't ask you. Let me know if I'm wild in chat. I don't understand how someone online can convince you to meet up with them in real life. Can we talk about that, like, on the game?
The core gameplay involves killing monsters to receive loot and gain experience to raise your levels. Although free to play, the game uses an in-game currency called Tibia coins, which you can purchase with real-world money. These coins get you in-game content such as riding mounts, new gear, and other premium services.
During character creation, players must choose between 68 different servers that vary by location, amongst other factors. As Daniel resided in Brazil, he chose a Brazilian server and eventually became acquainted with a local boy by the name of Gabriel Kuhn.
Gabriel was 12 years old to Daniel's 16, and
that is a crazy comb over too. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, we gotta start a movement. Stop letting niggas walk out the house looking like a dickhead. Who is in the barbershop allowing these cuts? We gotta start putting in our input. We gotta start giving our input on these cuts. Seriously, this is disgusting. This is a nasty comb over,
despite their age difference, the two struck up quite the friendship, and by all accounts, the two boys got along very well, played together often. Even though Gabriel's mother initially got sort of a bad vibe from Daniel, she still allowed him to visit the family home on numerous occasions.
Due to the friendship and the trust that had been built between the two boys, when Gabriel asked Daniel if he could borrow 20,000 Tibia coins with a promise to pay him back, Daniel was happy to lend a hand. I actually made a Tibia account for research purposes, and as of the date of this recording in 2022,
20,000 Tibia coins? How much is that in US dollars?
The largest bundle of Tibia coins you could purchase via their website was 15,000. For
Okay. So listen.
largest bundle of Tibia coins you could purchase via their website.
So he basically borrowed like $60 from him because 2,000. Okay, so he borrowed. It's about like 60, 65 bucks. And US dollars, that's like $65. I'm gonna need that 65 back. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna need that 65 back. I don't know. Am I wild?
It was 15,000 for a ticket price of over $500 US.
Oh, he got this one. Gang. That's $600. That's 600 US dollars on a game.
I have seen some sources state that 20,000 in-game coins cost $1.75 during the time of this story, but nothing could be found supporting this on the Wayback Machine. And even though 15 years has gone by, it seems unlikely that the cost would jump that much for that figure to be correct. So if prices were actually closer to today's figure, this wasn't simply a large in-game loan that Daniel was trusting Gabriel with, but rather a hefty real-world sum for a teenager.
However, eventually Daniel wanted a return on his loan. A reasonable request, as he had been so generous, and as we found, these coins weren't cheap. However, when he asked Gabriel to repay it, he refused. And eventually Gabriel decided to take things further and completely ban Daniel from his in-game contacts.
And this how people get chopped up and don't see the light of day. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie, whatever happens to him.
This was a grave error made by the 12-year-old boy, and Daniel was enraged. On the morning of July 23rd, 2007, this unstable teenager sought revenge.
It's like the scammer gets scammed on Fortnite. You remember when you used to do Fortnite, what was it? It was Battle Royale. What was it? Save the World. And he's that scammer to get scam stuff. No, this nigga's cooked, bro.
And on his young friend that had broken his trust.
It's over for him.
But first, Daniel called his mother, who was in Nova Trento, a city about an hour and a half south of his home in Blumenau, to see when she'd be home. Really, he was checking to see how much time he had. The teenager marched over to Gabriel's house at about 9:30 a.m., where the 12-year-old was home alone, and he knocked on his door under the false pretense that he just wanted to chat about their
an hour away? He walked an hour away?
Quarrel. As the boys were friends, Gabriel didn't see any reason not to open the door for Daniel, and this would be his second grave mistake. Daniel immediately shut the door behind him and began to savagely beat Gabriel with his fists. It was during this beating that Daniel dragged the crying boy over to a bed and began to violate him. After he finished the attack and he put his pants back on, Daniel laughed his—
Wait, put his pants back on. Wait, when he said violate him, I'm thinking like he's just beating him.
During this beating that Daniel dragged the crying boy over to a bed and began to violate him. After he finished the attack and he put his pants back on—
Nah, what you mean W Daniel? No, he just got deparred. Gang, he just got deparred. That's depar. Yeah, that's depar, gang. It's backwards, because, you know, TOS, that. Yo, delete that. Yo, ban her chat, delete her chat. Somebody delete that chat. Now I gotta blur out the whole chat box so I can put it on YouTube. Wow. Miracle, you messing up the motion. How could you say that in chat? That's TOS. So I thought they were fighting. You didn't hear the—
and began to violate him. After he finished the attack and he put his pants back on—
Terms of service or some shit like that. Yo, this is cooked. This is so cooked.
Daniel laughed hysterically at the young boy, who was lying in a pool of his own blood.
It was at this
So you beat a little kid up. Then you EPAR him. You EPAR him, and then after you EPAR him, you laugh at him as he's laying in his own blood. He must have had that T Banks on him for him to be bleeding that. Well, he was probably beating from. Is he beating from the punching, or is he beating from the EPAR? Probably both. Yo, this
point, a crying Gabriel made his third and final mistake. He threatened to tell his mother what had happened when she got home.
Why didn't he just wait till he left? Why are you telling him what you're about to do? You wait. You wait. You wait. You wait. And you tell her after he leaves.
And Daniel wasn't going to allow that to happen. Daniel removed Gabriel's computer power supply cable from the wall. If you have a desktop computer, you know these are thick cables. Daniel descended upon poor Gabriel and wrapped the cord around the boy's neck. The 16-year-old essayed him once more while simultaneously strangling him, which caused blood to splatter about the room.
Daniel gotta be gay. Daniel gotta be gay. Daniel gotta be gay. No, he's gotta be. He's gotta be. No.
Initially thought that he had killed Gabriel and immediately began to try to come up with a means to hide his body. In the hallway ceiling just above a door was a small trap door that led to an attic crawl space, and Daniel surmised that, despite this being Brazil in July, where temperatures reach 80 degrees Fahrenheit, this was the perfect place to hide young Gabriel's body.
But first, he was going to need a little bit of assistance getting the 12-year-old up into the crawl space.
Yo.
However, putting Gabriel's body up there by itself wasn't enough for Daniel. There was still more he wanted to do first in getting his revenge. This is a true crime channel, and with that being said, it's expected that some—
And why is he trying to mog while he's talking to me, bro? Open your eyes up. You don't look like that, gang. Why is he trying to mog me while he's talking to me, bro? Get him out my face. I'm starting to get pissed off. Why is he trying to mog me while he's talking to me? You don't talk like this. Why is he like trying to like seduce me while I was talking?
of the topics you're
I'm
going to
wildin'?
come across are especially violent and heinous. Some folks can handle some topics better than others, so on that note, the next part of our story
I ain't
is
never
going
gonna
to
fall
get
for no comb over,
particularly
bro.
gruesome.
Never gonna
For
fall
our
for
more
no comb over.
sensitive viewers, you've been warned.
You see it too.
After
I know I'm not
lifting
tweaking.
Gabriel's lifeless body, Daniel realized he was simply too heavy. So rather than leave the boy in his room or even do the honorable thing and call the police to admit what he'd just done, Daniel proceeded to get a knife from the kitchen and a hacksaw from the garage so that he might lighten the weight of Daniel's body by separating his legs from his torso. Keep in mind here, this is a 16-year-old boy rationalizing that mutilation was his best option.
Daniel hacked away feverishly, and when he was about 1 or 2 saw pulls away from completely removing Gabriel's right leg, the 12-year-old boy regained consciousness. It turns out he was never dead in the first place, and unfortunately, given to what Gabriel was about to endure, it would have been better if he had been already dead.
So he's alive while you're cutting his leg off. All over $600 potentially. Over a game. Gang, imagine waking up to your leg getting cut off and you just feel the pain all at once. Dude, like that is... Yo, like that has to be like, yo, no, ain't no coming back.
Upon waking up in immense pain and witnessing the horror of his live mutilation, Gabriel began screaming and crying. Daniel did not show a shred of empathy at seeing Gabriel this way. In fact, this only excited him further. Now seeing that Gabriel was still alive and could feel the pain, Daniel sadistically began to hack the boy in half, cruelly changing angles of the saw to try to inflict the maximum amount of
Y'all skin not crawling? Y'all toes not curling up? Y'all don't seem bothered. Like, I'm tweaking?
pain that he could. He cut faster and faster, completely wrapped up in the thrill of what he was doing. One can only hope that in this moment, poor Gabriel went into shock. Because no matter how hard or how fast someone can cut, Death by hacksaw is a horribly slow and painful way to go out. Now that Gabriel was dead and in pieces, Daniel tried once more to stuff his body into the hallway crawl space and failed at it again. Now, by his own admission, he was frustrated and becoming bored at this point. So Daniel decided to pass the time carving tibia symbols into Gabriel's chest. He then left his mutilated torso by the hallway trapdoor and his legs down the hall along with the hacksaw for whomever would be the first to come home. And tragically, that person was Gabriel's brother. Upon discovering his body, Gabriel's brother dropped to his knees and began screaming out for his mother. The commotion drew the attention of neighbors who witnessed the gruesome scene and alerted authorities. While processing the home, police found evidence that they felt tied Daniel to Gabriel's homicide, including chat logs of the two boys arguing over tibia. Daniel was soon arrested and admitted to the crime without hesitation and without any sign of remorse. He even went so far as to give a detailed account of every action that took place that morning and how all of it made him feel. However, Daniel left out the part about when he essayed the 12-year-old not once but twice, and when questioned about it, flew into a rage at the officers as he felt the police.
Wait, but how do they find out the boy was S8 if he's already, and cut up? Like, how do they find out he's like? How do they even know?
Police were making insinuations about his orientation. However, medical examiners did conclude that Gabriel had been violated multiple times that morning.
Daniel Petrie was admitted to a juvenile delinquency center and was sentenced in September of 2007 to only 3 years of socio-educational punishment.
But he was cut up though. So how would you even what part did he not cut up everything? He said he was carving symbols into his body and stuff. How would you even
It was a huge miscarriage of justice for both Gabriel and his family. In the US, Daniel would have most certainly been tried as an adult and would have gotten life in prison or worse.
No, fuck the life in prison. This nigga needs the penalty. This nigga needs the fucking this nigga should not even breathe again. This nigga needs the fucking penalty. Give him. He doesn't even deserve the death row meal or nothing. Just give him the penalty straight up. Like give him the gas or the chair, whatever y'all be doing. Because people begin for things worse than this. Begin the penalty for things worse than this. He needs the penalty. Examine the nigga's butt, probably.
To further add insult to injury, Gabriel's uncensored crime scene photos made their way to the internet.
Yo.
Daniel, who although having already killed Gabriel in
what is he
cold
talking
blood,
about?
vowed to further get his revenge on the boy. When asked by Justice Peja, the judge presiding over the case, if he had any words of remorse or an apology for his actions to Gabriel's family, Daniel responded in the most cold and outright ridiculous way possible. He said, and I quote, "Gabriel was a coward and a thief. He burns in hell right now where I sent him. And when I die, I will find him in hell and finish my revenge." End quote.
Daniel was released from prison in 2010 and has seemingly vanished from the public eye.
He's released? They released him? They let him go? No way. No. And now they don't know where he's at.
Some folks have speculated that Daniel might have taken his own life so that he could continue his quest to torment Gabriel in the afterlife. But the more likely scenario is that he's become a shut-in and lives his life solely in the anonymity of the internet, potentially still raging in online games.
If you've played online games, you've witnessed countless players hurl insults at one another and talk about exactly what they do to someone if they got their hands on them. In Daniel's case, he actually did it, and went further than what the vast majority of people would be capable of doing. We have our own crazy and scary stories from our time playing online games when we were younger. We both played MMOs such as World of Warcraft
They
and
let
saw
him
very
free?
bizarre things. For those subscribed to our Patreon, we will be uploading an episode covering that within the next week from the date of this release. A link to our Patreon is down below. In the wake of this case, many Tibia players from all over the world protested. with some even quitting the game completely due to the fact that they did not want to be associated with a platform that hosted a killer. But Tibia is not to blame for Gabriel's death. Daniel is. It is just a game after all. And between you and me, I'm far more worried about the possibility that he'll strike again.
Gang, why is he free? Like, why are y'all not tweaking about that? Why is no one talking about how he's free? Like, y'all, that's cool with y'all? Yo, ban that shit. Yo, why is this nigga free? Yo, why is he free? Like, why are we skipping over this? I ain't gonna lie though, Eric, that was actually that was one of the only videos you sent that kept my attention the whole time. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That actually kept my attention the whole time. Was it a bit much? Yeah, it was a bit much. He's white. Man, let that be someone like me. I would never see the day of light again. I would probably be in that chair right now. I would never see the light of day again if that was me. Seriously.